This video is about the Australian 20-cent coin and the animal that is portrayed on its reverse. And here's a hint, there's something wrong with the platypus I've portrayed here. What do you think the problem might be? Keep watching if you haven't picked it yet. Platypus is a monotreme, and its habitat is restricted to Tasmania and the east coast of mainland Australia. Here we see the reverse of the Australian 20-cent coin. It was both designed and sculptured by Stuart Devlin, a master of his craft. This is Stuart Devlin, or at least my attempt at sketching him. If you ever see this, Mr. Devlin, please accept my apologies because I fear I may have inadvertently added a few pounds. Mr. Devlin was not only responsible for designing the reverse of this coin, but also produced the first clay sculptures of the design, from which the dies that stamped out the coin would be produced. The obverse of the coin, inserted here for reference, was not a Stuart Devlin design. Impressively, Stuart Devlin's workmanship carefully displayed some key aspects of the platypus anatomy. When the platypus dives in search of its prey, it closes off its eyes and ears behind a skin flap, as well as closing off its nostrils. So how can it possibly find its prey? Well, it turns out the platypus has another trick in its hunting arsenal. The platypus has a beak loaded with electroreceptors tuned to detect the tiny electrical currents produced by the muscles of its prey. When the elusive platypus can be observed, it will often be seen sweeping its fleshy beak back and forth, feeling for the telltale electrical emanations produced by the muscles of its prey. It's a good thing the platypus has this extra sense, because its eyes are almost useless to it when it's hunting. Its eyes cannot look down due to its anatomy, and presumably only look skyward for any animal that might be preying on it. The platypus certainly is an odd animal, and it's not surprising that when Western scientists first sent back preserved examples of the platypus, that it was thought to be a hoax. On first examination, it must have looked like it was fabricated by stitching together body segments from an assortment of other animals. I mean, consider this. The proposed animal had the beak of a duck and laid eggs, but seemed to be a mammal in every other way, had the tail of a beaver and the foot of an otter. Unknown to the scientific community at the time, the platypus was probably the perfect example of convergent evolution, a proposal that suggests diverse organisms find a similar evolutionary pathway to adapt to similar but geographically diverse environmental conditions. If searching for another example, consider the lemurs of Madagascar. They are not monkeys, and yet they look very similar. It seems that presented with a challenge, evolution will sometimes come up with the same solutions, even for isolated and very different animals. If you're not already blown away by how odd this animal is, hold on to your horses. Although it is a mammal, the male of this species is also venomous. Tucked away behind its rear leg, the male platypus has a spur that can inject an agonizing poison. Although this venom is not considered fatal for humans, it has been known to kill small dogs. So, although a mature male platypus is only half a yard to half a metre long, it would be wise to leave this beautiful creature alone and admire it from a safe distance.